What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JP Podcast. This is episode 19. Yes, we're already on 19 episodes. But this episode, it's gonna be a little more. It's gonna be different. So it's not different out of like what I want to try to do, make this podcast about, but it's just me talking. Obviously, I always have my iPad with me now just to have some random notes so I don't stay off track too much. But today's title or today's topic is really just me talking, and there's no one specific thing I'm going to talk about. But also at the same time, there is because I want to keep it, refreshed and not like sporadic all over the place. Because it's still going to be gym, golf, lifestyle, and a surprising new thing that I picked up that you'll hear in the video. So stay tuned, stay around, and let's get right into it. So, all right, what's good, everybody? Hope we're all having an amazing day. So today's nothing crazy. It's just me. Nothing hype, nothing out of the ordinary. This episode's not gonna be one of those episodes like my other episodes that maybe you could relate with, or you could probably change your life. Not that. Today it's gonna be more just me turn on my camera, my mics, my lights, and all that. They might give out in a bit because I didn't charge them, so that's my part. I'm also trying to upgrade some stuff. Christmas is around the corner, so I asked for some of that for Christmas, but. This episode, we really have no agenda besides not yapping too much. We're going to keep it kind of, depends on how far it goes. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be even longer, but we're going to try to keep it in some of a timely manner. But I have some bullet points still just to keep me on track, but there's no big plans for this episode. So, as we start with that, I just felt like recording and just blabber yap a lot in this podcast episode in this episode. But this episode, I enjoy these episodes the most because it's just me going out there, me just talking about things I'm going through, check-ins of myself, things I do, my lifestyle, my hobbies, and just my overall how I'm doing. Sometimes I think you need that. You need to check in with your own self, check in with reality, and just see where you're going. So let's get into it. So wherever you're listening to this from, if you're in your car, if you're at the grocery store, if you're at the gym, chilling at home, cooking, walking your dog, doing chores around the house, just you can create this as some background conversations because it's casual, it's low key. There's not that much pressure because I'm literally just gonna be ranting most of the time in this episode, but it's just me being real. So first bullet point I have is just check-ins and how life feels right now in the moment. So life lately has been calm. You know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of not. It's just that because like nothing's broken. I'm healthy. I'm moving forward. Where everything I'm doing, I'm not doing the one step forward, two step back. Not none of that. It's just that my brain keeps wanting to tell me or create problems just to make myself feel busy. And what I mean about that is like my brain's telling if you're not busy, you're not doing anything. If you're not busy, something's wrong. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like, how you've had those times or moments where you have all this calmness, but your brain is trying to create something to make you busy? It could be anything. Like peace almost feels sometimes uncomfortable because your mind isn't in that state of chaos or anxiousness or stressed out or stressful, about gotta get something done. There's a project due. There's something I have to get done, etc. X, Y, and Z. And that's me right now in this state right now. Is that I'm just in that calmness area where I'm like everything's good, but I do feel like sometimes it's just there should be something happening. I should be in some sort of stressful situation, but right now none of that. Because I'm still working, I'm still training, I'm still training my clients. I love them to death. Still doing my own training with my own coaches and just pushing myself to the best ability that I can push myself to. Still showing up consistently to clients, myself, friends, you name it. Just trying to be there for them. But what I'm not doing, I'm not panicking. Yes, I'm not trying to prove anything. Don't need to. Like I've come to a stasis now where I don't gotta prove anything to anybody. As long as I know with with my beliefs, with my intentions that I'm doing it with a good purpose, with a good heart, I don't need to prove anything to anybody else. Because my goals are different from your goals, as the same as your goals are different to mine. Honestly, that's the strange feeling because I'm used to being in that what I would say back then, that 24/7 mode or that grinding mode all the time. 365, 24 like 24/7 of just being go 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 go, and just trying to just keep my head down and keep going forward and always having it on. But sometimes we do need to have those days. If you see that episode, if you haven't seen that episode, you should go check it out. It's okay not to be on all the time because if we're on all the time, we're gonna be burning out. We're gonna be burning out ourselves, and we don't want to do that. That's something that we should not do because it's just gonna create more bad habits or just create more feelings of like being dark and not that light. Because like I said in 2 episodes ago about like I'm introducing my faith, and I'm not trying to preach anything, but it's just how I am. It's how I'm gonna. I want. That's how I want to do this podcast. Is promote or explain my own faith because it's part of my journey. It's part of my conversations as you get to know me more. Is that faith has an important role in my life, and just with my believer friends, non-believer friends, they can get something out of it. But back on track is that there's a comfort in slow seasons. Yes, where it feels weird in the beginning, but then you start to realize that slow seasons are what builds you into your character because you have to really reflect on what's happening, what you're doing, what you're going through, having friends there, but also having your own self just in like be in the moment, be present with whatever you're doing. And this is where I think growth actually happens because if we're sitting in those slow seasons, we have to really dive down, dig deep, and just see what's happening, what's transitioning, what's going good, what's going bad, what's going could be better. And it's never in the chaos. Those fast seasons, we're go 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 mode, like training's going amazing, like getting client after client after client, or holiday months right now, like chaos. Just trying to get gifts for my friends, trying to get gifts for my family members, like just go 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 mode. I'm like, ooh, but you still keep showing up. You still keep that calmness to yourself. That let's take one day at a time, day by day, and just do it, do it, do it. But it's amazing. It's amazing how the slow seasons can show your true character of how much you can grow. If we transition now to gym talk, so yes, this is like I said, sporadic. It's really anything because I want to talk about anything. So second bullet point is gym talk. It's the how the gym has changed, how I've changed in the gym from let's say when I first started off, and you might be going through the same thing, or you might have had the same like wake up call or just intrusive thoughts of I used to be like that, but now I've my relationship with the gym has changed in a better way, or it could have been now it's a worse way. So maybe what I have to tell you or what you're listening to right now could possibly help. But like I said before, I was gonna say the gym is still a big part of my life. It's a non-negotiable because it's a relationship has changed it, but it's a relationship that I always want to have. Like that's like one of my clients said non-negotiables for yourself. That you can never give up on, and the gym is one of them. Like no matter what it is, if it's like a 30-minute workout to an hour and a half workout, like no matter what, I want to make time for the gym because it's a non-negotiable in my life. It's how I roll. It's just something that when I go to the gym, it just relieves all that stress, relieves all that anger, relieves all like that moment in time where you're just in a building or at your garage or wherever outside, and you just have that time just for yourself. And you just do that by yourself. If you want a gym partner, get a gym partner. Sometimes I like a gym partner because when I work out with certain people, I do see when I start to like, fall back and like it's more of me training instead of actually like working out with them. But when I have majority of times now, I don't do that. Like I gotta find a fitness or gym bros, gym girls that are in the same playing fields of like yes, we're both different, men and female, how we work, strength wise, or not even. Sometimes there are some females that I work out with that are holy crap, they can push weight, and it's great to have them because it humbles me of like, oh my gosh, I need to actually work on my butt more, or I need to work on my hamstrings, quads, because they can outlift me. And it's not coming from an ego perspective. It's coming from like competition of the drive of the athlete in me wants to compete, and it's more of I let them take me through the workout, and I'm like, call me out if I'm being like a little wuss, and just keep pushing me. I'll push you back because it's that like competitiveness that we both have, and that's what I love with people I work out with nowadays is that it's not me training anymore. It's me them training me, or like we both train each other. Of like we're pushing our limits. We're trying to break each other in a good way, in a healthy way, not like injury ways, but like break each other to a point where mentally and physically we are beat, but we still try to go to that whatever that place is deep down, like push out those extra 5 reps. It's just how like it's just crazy. But back on track of my relationship in the gym has changed. So, like I said, when I first started out lifting, it was more, insecurities of when I was in high school, when I was in like playing recreational sports. I was always like this scrawny kid. Well, that's what I thought. But then in my head, I was delulu of like I was always like an athletic kid. Look back at pictures of my high school, I was a scrawny kid. I was like a twig, but I thought I was like fit, but I wasn't as fit as I thought I was. But insecurities of playing sports, always getting pushed around. Never able to stand up for myself. Of like when I got hit or I took a hit, my head, how I pictured it would go out is like I truck them and they fall down, and like a safe like not a foul, but like like a safe like a safe play. Never the case. I always got pushed around, undersized, and then it leads to like frustration of why am I small? Insecurities of like I want to be big like the person next to me or the my opponents. And then I started, later, started at the gym, but then I started like it was more of like rage and anger of like going like pushing my lifts, like the anger, rage, whatever it is, pushing your lifts because not gonna lie, it works, it helps, when you're angry, you can push more because you're in that state of mind of like that you're just seeing red. I'm not punishing myself either with those. It's like, and now I'm not chasing validation through numbers or stats. I don't care anymore. Like the physique I have has been brewing for like 6 years now. Yes, I would say the first 3 years. The first year, newbie gains for sure. Like it's a thing. You get like I got like shredded and like muscle toned out. My first year I lifted. After that first year, then it was that more of that now consistently trying to like keep on the muscle, eat protein, eat your diet, nutrition, sleep, and all that, all the good stuff. The good stuff we don't want to do. But back then, I was more focused on, validation of someone 24/7 should be telling my physique's amazing, or my numbers on my list should be going up, not down, or punish myself if I'm, you know, doing sloppy work or if I'm not pushing myself hard enough through a workout or through my workout, whatever it is. But that all changed because some days now, like now, present day, I don't care about validation. I don't care because like we all have our own journey, and I'm not that important, and I never will be important because it's just how it works. Like when I see people staring at me, they're not. They're probably zoning out, and they're not thinking of me. Because I have some buddies that are like, oh my gosh, they literally see someone stare, and they're about to like fist fight them. I'm like, dude, they're probably zoning out, and they're probably like in their own mental battle of themselves. They're fighting their own demons right now. They don't really care about you. They don't know who you are. You're not that important. So we gotta stop having that like big brain of, oh my gosh, I'm the most important person at the gym. I'm not, and I do not want to be because I like to be low key and just head down, hoodie up, and just work out by myself. Because now it's like again, so some days I go in, move weights, I get a sweat on, you get sweaty, and I leave. For me, I work afterwards, but I have to go to work afterwards, and that's enough. Like, it's not me trying to push for numbers every freaking time, or it's not me, you know, doing things I shouldn't be doing. It's just me doing the things I need to do in a manner of time, and it's enough. Because I used to think if I didn't hit PRs, if I didn't hit crazy workouts, crazy lifts, uh, a crazy amount of exercises, the workout didn't count. Because before I would be doing like push pull leg, but I would be at the gym for like 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. I'm like, why am I here for so long? Like, and I started to get like frustrated, burnt out. Like I'm at the gym all the time because I'm also a personal trainer. So I'm like, I've been here all day, and instead of work, gym, work, it's more of work, gym, no time for lunch, and then straight to work when I'm just fully exhausted and just like beaten, just like angry and frustrated because I'm like hangry because I'm like hungry, but I'm like if I'm not working out for 3 hours, I'm not doing anything right. But that's gone. Now, max I do it's hour and a half, 2 hours. It's more in the 2 hour stuff I've been cardio. So like I do hour and a half of my workout, 30 minutes of cardio and abs. And now it's just me showing up consistently. I don't need to do those weird 3 hour sessions anymore. Because honestly, now that I've done the hour and a half to 2 hour workouts, I've seen more results, and it's amazing because from where I started of thinking in that mindset of 3 hour workouts every day, I only go 5 days a week, but 5 days a week of 3 hour workouts, 15 hours a week, that's crazy. If I can get it in a shorter amount of time, but actually like push myself, do like less exercise but more intensify them, I'll take that any day. Some people might say that's different, or that doesn't work, or they don't believe in that, and they want to just be at the gym for 4 hours and just yap and just talk. Cool. I'm not saying that's a problem, but just for me, I realized that that doesn't work for me anymore, and I'm in a time crunch, and I want to be on a time crunch because I don't want to be stuck at the gym for too long. Because at a point, you start to feel like you don't want to be there anymore, and you start to lose that passion of going to the gym. And I've also started paying attention to more of my recovery. If I feel sore, I take a rest day. It's easy as that. If I feel fatigued, if I feel some kind of like muscle movements not feeling right, I go lighter. I do more volume because I'm at a point where I'm preventing injuries, longevity, and trying to stay healthy, but also push weight in a safe manner. So if I feel a tweak, I go down. I'm not trying to push through that. Heck no. If I have a spotter, different because they can do most of the weight if I fail. But majority of the time, I just try to set back the weight and focus on the form and make sure I don't like warm up. If you take anything out of this, warm up in this section. Just warm up those muscles. And I got out of that mindset. If I don't lift heavy, not a good workout. But now it's like if I can lift heavy again tomorrow, that's good. If I can't, that's fine. Because I don't have to destroy myself every freaking day. There's weeks that I do deloads, so it's basically you go half the weight, but you really focus on just squeezing those muscles and hitting those fast twitch muscles and slow twitch muscles. So I love that. It's also kind of a metaphor for life too, as well. So you don't have to overextend to be successful. You can consistency, patience, and showing up quietly. Uh, it matters more than people give it credit. Because if we're always trying to flaunt ourselves, if we're always trying to be, like flaunt what we have, what we don't have, what we want to have, and we don't follow through with anything, what are you really doing? It's all talk. Instead of, doing the actions of doing it in the correct way. If you need time off, take time off. If you're not feeling it, don't quit. Just find a new method that works for you and transition to that method. Now on to the third thing. So, like I said in the beginning, how my podcast is gym, golf, lifestyle. Well, new thing we're adding to the hobbies. It's so yes, I golf, but lately I've been slacking on it. Not because I don't enjoy it anymore. No, 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 no. It's just that because I do love it. I love golf. I love golfing. But right now, like life's getting to that point where it's holiday months. It's everything's coming up, and like I don't really have time to do that. But I could. It's not really a priority right now. But I want to make it one again. But what I have been doing, I picked up something new, and you know what that is? Batting cages. Oh my gosh, it is fun. Because why batting cages? You might be asking yourselves out there. It's because it's something about swinging a baseball bat and trying to make contact that's satisfying in a weird way. It's like golf, hitting a freaking tiny pebble ball from a new perspective, from a new person's perspective, like a newbie golfer. It's the same thing, but instead of being on a tee or on the ground, like you're going at something that's moving towards you. So like a machine is throwing it to you, or a buddy's throwing it to you, or if you even tee it up. But there's no pressure, there's no judgment. It's just me hitting balls, baseballs. Because what I want to do, which I want to do, is join either like a slow pitch softball league or like some kind of like adult like baseball league. That's not too like any like level experience for the baseball league. Because I've been practicing more with baseballs instead of softballs, but and actually I think like baseball bats better than softball bats. Or unless are they the same thing? If you know in the chat, please write it down in the comments. If baseball bats, softball bats are the same, I have no idea. When I say I'm new to this, I am new to this. Because I'm not trying to be great. I'm not going pro. You kidding me? I'm not trying to dominate. If I get contact, I get contact. But I obviously do. If I want to join a league, I want to like at least be a good percentage of contact, not like any pro level. Like maybe like 3 out of 10. Or if I'm at the bat like 5 times, 2 out of 5. That'll be perfect. I just want to compete. I like being active. I love being active. I like to do sports because I'm competitive and something to just have fun with. Because it's crazy how when we get older, or wow, I sound old. I'm not even that old. I'm only 26. But how we start to adult, we forget to play, to actually do something purely for enjoyment. That's what golf was for me. But now I want to transition to baseball, even though my golf swing might get a little conflicted with it because it's two different swings. Like the buddy that my boss, him and I would go to the cages now, and he's good. Like he's good. So I'm like, okay, I need to get him on board. But he's like he used to play, and then he sees my golf swing, like my shoulder dips down too much. I'm like, I know, I feel it. But then the timing, because we went last Friday, and oh my gosh, my last round of like was phenomenal. Like not phenomenal, but it was like better. First two, oh crap, swinging like out of like probably 30 balls, I probably hit like 8. Embarrassing, right? The last round, out of the 30 balls, I probably hit like 15 to 20. Solid contact, better. Because I used to backtrack. So I used to play sports. I did soccer, track, mainly. PE, we did flag football, all those weird sports, like indoor hockey, like all that thing, but like mainly soccer and track. So I've never played any kind of sport with a mitt. My dad like used to take me to like the parks and like play catch, and like that was fun. But I never actually joined a league, which I'm like, damn, I wish I did. Cause I'd be like, dang, I could been pretty good. I was a fast kid, so I was like, shoot, if I was just like like a, what is it called? a pinch runner, I think I'd be dominating. Steal bases, probably the best record at my high school. JK, no, I would not. Kidding me? I was a scrawny kid, remember? If you catch that. But as we get adulthood, it is, as the adulthood hits, suddenly everything has to be productive. But what we forget is, playing a sport in a league or just for fun, going to the cages, that's productive for our soul because we're just staying active. And it's, cool because I enjoy it now. Hands hurt if you like, oh my gosh. I have this like thumb guard thing, just like extra padding, but still. Hands are still like numb. But it was fun. Because even at the cages, even at the cages, like going, doing, hitting balls, I've realized how much I've missed, trying something new and silly and not having any judgment because, we all start somewhere. And I'm 26 and I'm starting my baseball journey of, purely for fun and enjoyment, not trying to do anything with it. But with golf, different story. I want to get a little further than that. I want to like maybe join like amateur events with my buddy because I think we could do good. But I've been slacking, and he's got to call me out. He's got to just force me to go to a golf range and just say, "Hey, hit some balls." But trying something new, being terrible in the beginning, and then seeing the progress, I love that feeling of like when we all start something. Gym, benching, the 135, a plate, plate in a bar. Plate on both sides in the bar. That was probably tough for everybody in the beginning, like we couldn't do it. But slowly, as we got more into it, stay consistent with it, try to go do it more often. You get better, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just not perfect it, but trying to get better each time I go back. When I go back to the cages, because usually I go every Friday, because that's the only time I have like a half day, and then like my boss also has a half day, so it's like, hey, perfect day to go. And I just enjoy it because of all the imperfections of I suck. Compared to him, he is good. I'm like, dang, he can see the ball. He's got that eye ball coordination for sure. He's locked in. For me, golf, I think form technique, I got him, but he could probably stripe it too. And what honestly, it reminds me that the physical activity doesn't have to be structured to count. Like yes, my form sucks, but I understand how to load. Timing is getting better, but it still sucks because it doesn't have to be perfect to matter. As long as I'm actually like not getting frustrated or not yelling or not quitting on myself, it's the right steps, the right direction. Swinging bat, swinging missing, hitting my thumb, hitting my fingers, hitting my hand, hitting my feet, hitting my ankle, laughing at my own self. All of it matters because, as I know where I'm at right now, and it's the journey that I'm going through because I've never played baseball before, and I'm trying to pick it up. So yeah, it's pretty good so far. All right, content and the pressure and overthinking. That's the next bullet point I have. So I have been slacking a little bit. Yes, episode should be out. Usually I try to make it out every Saturday, but sometimes these last couple weeks of the holiday months, I shouldn't. There's no blaming it. It's all me. I gotta take accountability of if I want to make this a thing, I gotta post. Because if it's not a priority, then it's not a priority for me. I just gotta post. But these last 2 months, I've just been slacking of holiday months, trying to get stuff together, whatever. That's all just talk, just gibberish. But I've been making content lately, or I've been making and I've not been making content lately. I'll be honest. That pressure to always post, to always be on, always create some kind of perfect video, it can be exhausting. Like I'm using Descript, Premiere Pro, CapCut, all like TikTok features, Instagram Reel features, all the social media platforms. And then some days I just overthink. I overthink everything. Like, I've gotten better at not overthinking, but I plan too much in my head. My head goes from point A to point B, point to C, D, like X, Y, Z, like everything. Head is like swirling. And I start to stress over whether is this good? Is this a good video? What about this part? What about that part? Like just X, Y, and Z of just stressing out things that I should not be stressing about. And those are the days I really get nothing done with my content days. And it's been like that for probably, if I'm gonna be real, like 3 weeks of me like overthinking everything. Like this video has to be perfect. Or I didn't say that correctly, or it's like something along those lines of like, this is not good, not good, not good. But some of my best content, or some of the best content that I've come down with from my analytical seeing on my social medias are literally either me talking or just me pressing record whatever I do. It's that simple, and I did not know that. Like, just keeping that it's kind of like moderate, as well as there's no perfect plan. It's me like trying to put something together and boom, put it out there, and just showing up and just being my true authentic self. And I saw those videos of like I had a cow costume for Halloween, popped off, or my baseball videos I didn't really like care about too much, just because trying to show people that I'm not just a golf kid or a gym kid. I'm also a baseball trying to 'cause I enjoy it now. It's a hobby that I want to perfect or get better at. Not perfect, like not perfect, not get perfect, but get better at. See, that's my reminder. This is my reminder for anyone trying to create content, trying to be content. I'm like a micro content creator. My buddy says because like my following's still low, but I got people watching my videos. I guess so. It's working. It's working a little bit. But what I would say is that don't overcomplicate things, because if you start to overcomplicate things, that's when you start to get that overthinking state and stress, and you don't want to do anything after that because your brain is shutting down. Because you don't need to optimize every post. Literally grab your phone, do a video, record, and just there it is. Like, oh, today you're in your car. Talk about your gym workout. I'm trying to be better at that. Or today sucked, and then just rant. Like people want to hear your true authentic self of what you're doing, what you're going through. If they relate, they can relate. If they don't, they don't. And then just gym videos. How I do is like, this is my workout. This is what I do. It won't work out for you, but you could try it out and see how you do. Because I'm not going to be one of those people who says, follow this workout and you're going to look like me. Because realistically, all of our genetics are different. How we train, how intensity works, but genetics plays a big role. And you just need to live in the moment, get your phone out, press record, and just talk. Keep it simple, keep it easy. Don't overthink anything, because the authenticity matters more than you think, and people will resonate with you more because they're like, oh, this person, this creator, or this content person is showing themselves and not following other people or like trying to do other things that obviously we'll get the likes, we'll get the views, but doing it their own ways. Because even outside of content, it's life too. You got to stop overthinking, stop comparing yourself to people, and just do you. Like, be yourself, be out there. If people don't like you, so what? You don't like them either. Sorry, no. But true. If you don't like someone, they don't like you, so what? Don't let that thing ruin you. If someone talks crap about you, they got bigger problems to feel. They got some insecurities that they figure out themselves. So it's not on you. It's on them. And then stop trying to force everything. Consistency and authenticity matter more than perfection. Mic drop. All right. Next bullet point I have for this is just faith and trusting the season. So I'll touch on faith here briefly. So Like I said, I was falling from my faith a little bit, drifting away, but now I'm coming back and coming back to Him and talking to God, like talking to God right now. But the trusting of God without controlling everything. Like we want to control. Like I want to get for content purposes, I want to get a certain amount of followers by the end of the year, or I want to get a certain amount of things. All this control everything. If you want to control like relationships, control things in your life, like plans, timelines, whatever it is. Uh, trying to guess what's coming up next. All those things. The controlling aspect, you gotta let it go. We can't control everything. Some of it comes out of like our own plans, like some kind of higher being. For me, it's God, but for like non-believers, whatever. If you believe in something, believe in anything, believe in something bigger than yourself, but don't control everything. Because lately, it feels like I'm being told to slow down and just be present. Just be present in the moment and just you're doing good. Just be present. But sometimes it's hard because I would say I'm a patience person for the most part. Sometimes no, I'm not really that patient. I want to get go 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 go. But I'm starting to understand that quiet seasons aren't pauses. They're not bad. Quiet seasons are not bad. I hate when people say they are, but they're not. It's the preparation. Building the foundation, building what's going to happen next in the story that we have for ourselves. That's in stored for us. Because sometimes you don't see it in the moment, so you don't feel it. But when you look back later of like your chapter 20 from what was your chapter 2, completely different. You start to realize the small things you did during those times of the calm seasons, the slow seasons, and where it's built you into something bigger, something grown, and your foundation is a lot more set. So if you take anything from this part, just don't control everything. It's okay to have like community for sure, but just rely on something bigger than yourself. And just know that whatever it is, they are there for you. They will always be there for you. They're never going to go away. But yeah, if you feel like you're behind, but you're still showing up, you have your answer right there. You're not behind. If life feels boring, it's not boring. It's probably more. It's more like stability. If your life feels quiet, it's more that it's peace. See, what we don't have to do is we don't have to force momentum. You don't have to manufacture stress. You don't have to like manifest it either. Sometimes showing up consistently, calmly, is the most productive thing you can do. And if you've been ignoring, something fun, like going to the batting cages, going golfing, going seeing friends, seeing family, picking up a new hobby, or start small. Just start small. Don't overthink it, Enjoy it, make mistakes, laugh about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, It's life too. Because I never thought that, I would always I'm all talk most of the time, about like things I want to do, hobbies, but I was like, I'm going to make a difference. This is going to be a change, a good change of, yes, I'm going to go to the batting cages. Never been. I went once as a kid, but I was like, dude, I suck. Swinging, missing everything. So I'm like, I'm giving up. Throwing the towel. But now it's more, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to not look for perfectionism. I'm just going to try it and see where it goes to, see where it leads to, and just, maybe join a league. I want to join a league. So if you're in Arizona, if you know any like adult baseball leagues for any kind of experience or any kind of softball leagues, I would love a comment down below because I would want to join one. I got buddies who would join too. I have a team, I think, together. It ain't going to be too serious, but I do want to win. but I also want to have fun with it. I'm not trying to be one of those people, sticklers of, God damn, we gotta get better. Like none of that crap. It's more of a give your best, give it your all, and I'm fine with that. But yes, I appreciate you all listening from wherever you're listening to. Again, if you're listening from your ride home, from the gym, cooking, meal prepping, walking your dog, or even just chilling at home and you found this video. Thank you again. We'll talk soon again. And again, please leave a like, uh, subscribe to the YouTube, as well as shoot me a follow on my Instagram. It's _JPIFit. I use that more. I should be using the JPI podcast one, but mainly I used _JPIFit. And then yeah, it was nice talking to all you. But again, this episode was very, very random. But you all have a blessed day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one again. Like I said, we'll talk again soon. Do I have any spoilers? No, I have no spoilers today, but take care, and yeah.